What's up? Greetings, blessings, peace, shalom. It's your boy Creole coming to you with the very first episode of The Ritual. And we're very fortunate today to have an artist that I've had an opportunity to work with, met through Beat of the Week, and really excited to find out his creative process, the one, the only, intelligent Ohio. Dude is an amazing artist, man. Intell, thank you for hopping on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be a part of this monumental moment, man. It's
Yeah,
congrats to you. I love watching how this platform in general has been blowing up, and definitely glad to play any part of it. So
yeah, man.
awesome.
I mean, huge shout out to Bob Streams, DJ Journey, Trey Rails, Beat of the Week for connecting all these great artists together and allowing this to happen. So we definitely want to make this into something. This is gonna be a big thing. We get to kick it off, man. You're the first one.
Awesome.
I
Awesome,
I I,
man.
I did this for a reason. So just to give a little bit of background. So when I hop back on Beat of the Week, scrolling through and I see this dude come up. He's like chilling in the car,
Yep.
and like I hit the video, and I mean he just started firing off. I mean, just like I'm like, whoa, hold up. So instantly I'm like, yeah. First of all, I gotta vote for this dude. I gotta show some love on that because he just went bonkers on this beat. And then started following, and then as things progressed, had an opportunity to chop it up with him, and we ended up doing a couple songs together, uh linked in through rap chat and just some stuff outside of it, and I was like, all right, this dude is so where I guess the first thing, I mean, okay, I'll let you jump in. Kind of give a little background. How did you get into hip hop and rap? Where did intelligent become intelligent?
All right, so I've always had a passion for music, for as long as I can remember. I'm a metalhead by trade, love rock and roll. I grew up with my mom's rock, like 60s stuff like that. That was my forte. That's what I loved. Um, then shortly after the high school era, basically, and early in high school as well, started hearing these hip hop artists and rap artists, and sort of caught an ear for it. It wasn't necessarily something that I ever thought I would do by any means. Um, then my beginnings, I think, started how a lot of people do, and it was basically just freestyling with the homies in the kitchen, just hanging out. Someone threw a beat on. All of a sudden, we
Right.
just started doing our things, passing the cipher around in a circle. Um, from there, it started growing and becoming a passion for me. And it's something that I've pursued and I keep working towards daily. Music is a huge part of my life, especially when it comes to rap and hip hop now. And just the culture that surrounds it is amazing in itself, and to be any part of this culture, I think, is a privilege and an honor. So that's
Yeah, man. That's
yeah.
dope. So so the lunch table, the kitchen table ciphers started it up. So what was I gotta ask this, and this may end up being just like a running question. So what was or who was the hip hop artist or group that you heard and that you was like, yeah,
Man, so I think I think the one that really did it for me was I had the privilege of seeing Tech Nine live on my birthday.
Right on.
That was the first real like rap show that I ever went to. He was there with a couple other artists, like the Cottonmouth Kings,
Right
just
on.
some other people, and just seeing his stage show. He had Chris Calico with him. He had a couple other artists, Cut Calhoun, but seeing them
Yeah.
come together on this stage, and just the energy that they brought, I mean, it sold me, you know. And that's a man, at that point, I was like, I want to be like this guy, like, or these group of people.
Right.
Like, I want to be up on the stage with that same energy and emotion that I'm feeling from the crowd. Like, I want to be up on the stage trying to give other people that excitement. And I mean, having been on a big stage, you know, the feeling of being up there in front of people, and especially doing original pieces of art, you know,
Yeah.
and having people vibe out to it, it's a great feeling. So I
Yeah,
love
man.
it.
That's cool, man. So I guess you could say that, that feeling, that vibe, that is that your why for being creative in that within that genre is just that feeling that you get from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it. I think I mean, just being creative in general is it's something a lot of people have, you know, whether you're a painter or a lyricist, or I think most people have a creative aspect to them. For me, I love like my canvas is an instrumental. Um, I consider myself a lyricist more so than a rapper or a hip hop
I
artist.
dig
You
it.
know,
I
it's
dig that.
I love playing with words. Words are my art. So that's I think when it comes to creativity, you know, it's whether you're sculpting with your hands or sculpting with your mouth, you know, I mean, it's something I think most people can do in one form or another. And again, I choose to be creative with words. So
Wow, man, dude, I'm thankful. I'm definitely thankful that that is where important. I'm pretty sure you have other things that are creative with, but I'm definitely thankful for that. I know it's a lot of people out there like that are for sure thankful. I've seen your following on Rap Chat, and I'm just like, dang, goals.
and I mean, that's a platform I've been straying away from recently. Of course, with Beat of the Week and Vibe Stream. I mean, I love everything that I'm seeing. So that's been my main focus, you know. I mean, people like yourself and DJ Journey, Trey, like, I mean, the whole Beat of the Week community. It feels like a family, you know. Whereas, like, I've got certain artists on the other platform that I've chopped it up with. So JoJo Beats, for example, amazing producer. I met him through Rap Chat.
Shout
Just
out JoJo Beats.
yeah, absolutely. Dude puts out some fire. But
Yeah, man.
just came across one of his beats on there. Did my thing on it, shot him a message, and he hit me back. And then from there, we were able to communicate, continue to grow on that professional level, and then having him be able to bounce over to Beat of the Week, I think was awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like people loved what he was putting out there, and I hope to see more of him on that platform as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. He hit me up on the gram and stuff. We've been kind of going back and forth with him. I definitely got to scoop up some of his beats too, man.
Yeah,
Dude is dope. So
absolutely.
all right. So let's see here. Where or how should I state this? What is your process? Or do you have like a specific I don't know, like you take your time, you go because I see when you shoot your video, man, you got like the ambiance lights going on in the back.
Yeah.
Like, do you kind of just sit down and go pen and pad, vibe with the beat? Like, what are one or two of your specific like this is what I have to do in order to create, or so this is what I go through when I'm pinning down my lyrics.
So I mean, myself personally, usually. I'll just start from scratch, like I'll hear for the sake
Yeah.
of beat of the week, I'll hear whatever instrumental's laid out and like I'll play it once or twice, try to catch a vibe for it. And then from there it's like whatever sort of inspiration I feel from it, So if it's like a nice groovy melodic instrumental, I'm gonna try to match that tone. I mean, if it's a hard hitting in your face instrumental, I'm gonna try to hit that. So I mean, for beat of the week specifically, it's just feeling out the instrumental for me. Um, so I mean, I've been making music for quite some time. So at the beginning, I was able to go through and just sort of take some of my old verses that I had that I'd already memorized and just sort of adapt them over to beat of the week.
Right.
And then, I mean, with the feedback that I've gotten from people across the board, I've been able to sort of fine tune that art specific to this community. And I mean, as an artist and a person in general, I've grown immensely. I feel like just in the like between the time I put in my first video till this point right now. Um, I definitely would not be sitting here on the same screen beside you if it wasn't for Beat of the Week in general.
Yeah, man,
So,
for sure, man. They you get some incredible feedback um, that helps a lot of artists, myself included. That the Rails Reacts like has been like a really good show, and even at times when I haven't submitted something in or whatever, but just going back and it may not even be pertaining to my video. And I don't know if you're the same way. I'll listen and what there's other artists, and I realize, man, I do the same thing sometimes. So like whatever, whatever little things that kind of come up, and it just kind of gives you like that little sneak peek and that added into that tool belt and for like extra. If you're not watching Rails Reacts, man, y'all definitely need to do that quick plug for the homie. But let's see here. So now I I've known you for a little bit. We chop it up outside of here. I've got to scroll through. I know we were having earlier conversations, and you were talking about. I think it was a group that you and one of your homeboys was in, as to where y'all were doing shows, and y'all were just like spitting 100 miles an hour, like all the time. So where, how did talk to me a little bit more about like that. What was that? How did that help you grow and develop on an aspect with being able to one be on stage? Because now with all the like COVID stuff and like everybody being kind of locked down and very weary about going different places. It's not a lot of live shows that are happening, not a lot of stage shows that's going on. Everything is kind of like this streaming, or it's like you're a million miles away. So it's not the same energy, and people aren't able to get that type of experience. So how did that help you grow and advance yourself?
yep. So it's I mean, like you said, I started with more of the chopper style, rhythmic aspect. Again, that Tech Nine show, like that was who I strive to be, and anyone that knows that name knows that dude can kill an instrumental. I mean, he goes
Yes,
nuts on it. And then there's a couple other local cats that just I mean, they just killed it on that chopper style. And so I had not only that professional that I was looking up to, but also these other local dudes that like I looked up to them. That's I wanted to be just like these other dudes up on stage doing that thing. So went through, started working on that chopper aspect. Dude, I used to do all my shows with, same thing, and he was even faster than I was, and
that's crazy.
just learning how to be articulate and at the same time have that speed but being able to keep that rhythm and rhyme scheme was a challenge. It's I think most people can go through and rhyme. Rhyming in itself is somewhat easy, I think, for a lot of people, but being able to put together full thoughts,
Yeah,
or a paragraph or bars, however you want to put it, but being able to put together that entire thought process and still have that rhythm and rhyme all the way through is a that's a skill, you know, that's a trait. But going from that chopper thing, found out a lot of people they weren't necessarily hearing what I was saying as much as just hearing the way I was saying it. And so I started eventually, as I fine-tuned things, sort of slowed myself down a little bit. Instead of just seeing like how fast I could go or like how many syllables I could throw into this little section, I went more for just the content aspect of it. Like I was putting a lot of words out there, but people weren't hearing it, and so
Yeah,
I mean that's something I had to work on when it came to myself. Because it's I mean, I started from scratch basically. I didn't have somebody in my ear saying like, "Hey, do this," or "I would like it if it sounded like that." I had to make it up for myself, you know, and then just getting feedback from people. I mean, it's been a learning experience for sure, and I mean, it's a lifetime experience. So
yeah,
it's something not everybody will get the chance to do, and it's awesome. I'm blessed for sure.
yeah. Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely will say for sure, like you we've seen it. Anybody that's been following all the beat of the week stuff and watching your videos, like the progression, like is for sure there. Like is definitely there. Like it's like just when you think like he's hit like the sweet spot and he's like, all right, cool, he's there. Then he comes back next week and it's like, all right, he's right here now. It's like, all right, man, there's no way he's gonna do something else. And then next week, like, come on, man, just killing it. Dude. Like, serious, man. Kudos on that for
Yeah,
real. I wish I could do the chop. That's not in my forte. Unfortunately, my southern tongue not allow for extra
me
speed on it, man. I've tried, and it just ends up being just mush. You're 100% correct, man. Got to be able to like understand and be able to articulate all that. So I just, I'll throw a little quick little da 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 out there and get back in my lane.
Yeah, but I mean, you come in as a power vocalist, which is something that I wish I
Oh,
could do, you know. Uh, I mean, just working alongside you on like the Stars song, for example, coming in, like listening to it, like hearing myself, and then you come in behind it. I'm like, man, C-Roy, like, come on, like. So I mean, I love hearing everything you put out as well, dude.
no, man.
You're an
I
extremely talented artist, and I mean, there's a reason you're hosting the show. You know, you're a great person in general, and
man, I appreciate it. It's not about me. It's not about me, man. No.
uh,
But so I'm glad you brought up stars because that gives me an excuse to go back and backtrack to early Intel that was listening to rock. I want to know like so what were you listening to? Because I listen to everything, so I want to know what was mom playing that you was like rocking out with and head banging and what was playing was like some old school Led Zeppelin, was it like Def Leppard, like
so
what lane were you
I mean, it was pre that even. So
feeling?
when it comes to my siblings, including like extended family, I'm almost the baby out of the entire group.
All right,
So I've got siblings that are 15 years my senior. So my mom, for
I can
example,
relate. I can
yep.
relate.
So like her rock and roll was like the Beatles, the
Okay,
Doors,
okay,
things like that. So I remember every Sunday cruising to church, listening to our local radio station as Breakfast with the Beatles, and for this however
nice.
many hours, it's just nonstop Beatles. Which at the time I really wasn't a fan as a young kid, but
Yeah,
looking back, you know, I mean, I got that. Uh, I guess sort of the vibe that they were putting off, and
yeah.
then so that wasn't necessarily something that I listened to on my own, but it gave me an appreciation for rock and roll. Um, so myself personally, I got into the heavier metal.
All
Um,
right. So
so
she was jamming out to some Guar. Like
yep,
I know rock. That's what I'm saying. Like what's up? Like
yep. So I had the privilege of catching Guar
Oh
while they
man,
were all still around. Caught a live show with them. So
right
they
on.
music wise they weren't my favorite, but they put on a heck of a show. So that was awesome.
Just
Uh,
real quick, hey, anybody that's watching it, y'all don't know who Gore is. After the show is done, you go ahead, hit up YouTube and go look that up.
yeah,
Get
it's
ready for
a
your brain to explode.
yeah, they put on a show for sure. So
Right on.
it's a I mean they're one of a kind. But
Yeah.
so when it comes to rock, I think one of my all-time favorite groups is System of a Down.
Yeah.
Love some System. So I don't think I've ever heard a song by them or I mean the two front runners they did their solo thing for a while
Serge
individually.
Tanaka is he's a beast, man. I love that dude,
Yeah.
man.
Yep, and then Danny, he's the secondary vocalist. I mean, he's one of the brain children, I should say, behind System of a Down. When it comes
Right
to
on.
like a lot of the lyrics, the music itself. If you look at the credits on their albums, like his name's all over it. And so, I mean, just the group in general, the way that they rock with each other, and then of course the
Yeah.
content. It's just something that grew on me so quickly. Um, so I mean, System of a Down, huge for me. Um, I like I got down to Corn for a while, you know, Slipknot.
Oh man.
So
There was a whole portion in my life and like I think I found out about corn in like fifth grade. It was obviously I grew up in the hood. So like if there was white kids at school, it was like a rarity. So we were doing like some random standardized testing thing. I finished up. This other kid had finished up. He had his headphones or whatever, CD player. Is like, hey, you gotta hear this. It's like, who is this? It's like, it's group called Corn. It's like, let me play the song for you. He played me Blind,
all right,
and I was like, dude, what the hell is this?
yeah.
And from that point on, man, like I've been lucky enough to catch Corn live out here in Houston, man. Just yeah, it was dope show. And of course, they did I had Ice Cube on one of the albums. You know that was right up my alley. But all right, back onto your list, so I can add that on to my Spotify.
All right. So yeah, I mean, with rock, I went down a rabbit hole basically. I mean, those are some of the more prevalent artists that I grew up listening
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
But yeah, from there to I just wanted more. You know, like I couldn't get enough of it. So we didn't have the privilege of Pandora at that time, you know, so I couldn't just go on there and make a playlist and then just have it
yeah,
pull up all these artists. So it was a matter of I mean, even just the live shows, attending them. I caught a corn show, and so I'd go to the show and be like, "Oh, who are these artists?" And then from there, like start checking out their stuff, and I mean, so on and so forth with that. Like I said, it was like a rabbit hole. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, anything from like our mainstream rock to I mean, Norwegian death metal. It's like I said, when it came to rock and roll, that was my thing. Like that's what I loved. That's what I
Right
enjoyed.
on.
But
So has any of that? So I know we did the stars joint, and that was like it got to do like a little bit of rock in there. Has it spilled into any of the other songs, or any other raps that you've done, or any other tracks that you hopped on?
so I've tried to keep it separated to a point, you know. It's I mean it definitely has an influence on myself and my music, but for the most part, I try to keep the genres
Okay,
different, you know. So the Star song that we did definitely has that Linkin Park vibe
right,
when it comes to the instrumental, and so being able to throw that sort of like rap or hip hop uh, lyricism on top of sort of I mean it's definitely a hip hoppy metal beat.
yeah,
Like stuff like that, yeah, sort of mixes the genres, but for the most part, I've tried to stay true to sort of just the rap and hip hop culture. I mean, there's a lot of
right,
artists out there that do fuse it, like Head PE, for example, or Linkin Park. You know, they'll go through.
yeah,
You'll have those screaming guitars with the power drums, and then at
yeah,
the same time, they're just coming through and start chopping on the beat. And so that's I mean, it's something I'd love to be able to do. Maybe one day, you know. I definitely have that in my back pocket, but
Hey,
just
at
something
least
I haven't used. So,
at least we got to do that little bit because I secretly wanted to live out my rock star dream. Shout Ronnie Beats for that track. He
yeah.
actually hooked me up with that one free, so I appreciate
All
that.
right. Hey, much
That
love.
was, that was in one of them freebie packs, man. I sat on that and just something as soon as I went back in, opened up the folder, and I heard that first little guitar riff that starts off in the band. I was like, yeah, I got to get Intel. This is perfect. I already knew. You didn't have to tell me that you was in the rock. I was like, yeah, I got this is gonna be perfect. And it worked. It worked out really well. I was watching on my United Masters deal for the streaming, and it was a lot of plays in the Ohio area.
All
it
right.
was it was really jumping in Ohio. So shout out Ohio for that. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Gotta represent the state. So,
Hey man, hey, I feel you on that. So all right, just keep it moving with everything. So what what else do you have going on? Is or should people be on the lookout for maybe like a little sneak EP of intelligent? Is there gonna be like a intelligent mixtape? We just gonna keep doing features, or we gonna end up being like a different version of Black Star with you and me dropping the album?
hey, I mean, I'd be all right with that. So I do have a discography, if you want to call it that, of songs, you know, in my pocket,
Right on.
ready to go. So it's I mean, where I stand personally in my life, it hasn't been necessarily the best idea to drop all that money to go into a studio, get that legit recording of some of these songs. But I've been taking this time and opportunity to go through and just sort of fine tune what I do. Um, so I mean, I've got basically a full album ready to go. I've got my playlist all set up. Been going through like I'll do the same song 20 different versions, you know, just trying to figure out like which flow I like the best. And
Right.
I've used platforms like Rap Chat, for example, to throw it out there. Like I'll drop it on this instrumental this way, and then I'll turn around, remix it here, and just sort of get the feedback from people, like figure out what they like as well. And so it's I guess to answer your question, I do plan on hopefully in the near future dropping a full album. Uh, so it's I won't go into too much detail on that yet, but
Hey, you
yeah,
don't have to give away the goods. I understand.
yeah. So it's that is something to hopefully be looking for. And I want to. I mean, it's gotta for my first solo album. It's gotta have that professional quality to it. You know, it's got to. I wanna make an impact. You know, I want to make a statement. So it's I think anybody can make a mixtape, you know, but to sell an album, that's a dream,
Yeah,
you know.
there you go.
So
Now, yeah, you got me with the thinking.
yeah,
Yeah, man, that's knowledge, man. That's knowledge and goals, man, for sure. Uh, and I honestly now that you mentioned that with even with me on Rap Chat, and I've kind of really neglected that. Um, I've gotten on a little bit more, but I never thought about running through and just doing kind of shooting out different versions of some of the stuff because I've got stupid amount of things that I've like written that is just sitting there, either like saved in my phone or whatever. But just kind of throw it out there and get a little testing on there. So
yeah,
that's I might have to pick up. Thank you for that little
uh,
jewel right there.
definitely. I mean, I used it, of course, to build a following, you know, get fans, but also as a tool. I mean, it was definitely used as a tool for me. So yeah, that was definitely a good place to get into when I did. So and it's
Right on.
it blew up a lot faster than I thought it would too. So I had a
Man, dude, like I was off for like I think I took a week off from there because I just kind of started up and I was like, I don't know. I wasn't too like hype on like the editing like that you can do in there. And then I was like, all right, man, I'm just keep on, playing in my band lab and sticking there. And then what happened was I entered in a contest. It was like I think like the 5K
Yep.
whatever rap chat gold thing. You had to be a gold member, and I wasn't a gold member, so I did the trial. Well, the deadline for the trial was like right at the end for the contest, and I forgot to like cancel the trial. So I woke up like the next day. I was like $60.
Oh man.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that's a
oh dang, I forgot. Well, I'm in here now. So
yeah, yeah, it's a I mean, now that you mention, I'm pretty sure I set mine up on an auto subscribe. So
man,
it's
hey,
I've been sort of absent, but it's a still a gold member. And so
yeah, when I scroll through on my phone, and I look at it, I was like, let me go ahead and at least post something that I did in like band lab, and I'll at least put it in here or something. Like that's it's like almost like yeah, it's like $60 I threw in there, but yeah, it's all good. Rap chat's still legit. I hooked up with some pretty good artists out there as well. So there's some dope people that's out there, and that's a good thing with this community that is built around beat of the week and going in a vibe stream is just like that whole sense of family. And I'm really like hyped to see all these different artists being able to work together. Like I'm glad like I was able to reach out to you and like you were game to hop in with it and be able to create stuff and like continue to create even as we like sit here. So, I mean, that's a huge thing to be able to do. So, you know,
yeah,
I know we keep on be like, hey, shout out to the platforms, but it makes some amazing things possible. I know if I'm on a track with you, I got to bring my A game like all the time because of like, man, he gonna murk me on my own song.
I you I mean on that stars you sent me that instrumental. I loved it. You sent me that rough copy of the hook, and I mean I was sold instantly. I felt like I caught the vibe of what you were going for in that song, and it's I mean, I hold myself to a certain standard in knowing what you're capable of. Like I had to set my bar high. Um,
It's the same, man. Like I said, dude. I know if I'm going to send this out to him, I know whatever I'm going to get back is going to be amazing because I understand your work ethic behind it because I've seen it in your crafting all through Beat of the Week. Um, I've seen it as you go through on Instagram with now like the freestyles and the TikTok. I'm gonna let you plug all that in a little bit so we can get people following up on that because
uh,
man, TikTok they got some dudes that's dropping beats to get in there, and you been, whew, good lord,
yeah,
that's a whole nother thing. We're gonna get into that real good, but yeah, man, it helps you realize, okay, this is what I need to do to tweak to match energy, right? Um,
yeah,
and for sure, like I said, man, as soon as I heard the verse come back, I was like, and that's the other thing, like the time on it too. I don't want to rush on things because I like to try and listen to details, and I still find stuff like even going back and listening to it now, I'll be like, man, I could have this. I'm always looking for something to improve on, and then I hear yours. I was like, yeah, no, he killed it.
and see, I feel the exact opposite on that. Like listening to it, I'm like, man, I wish I'd have done this, or this could have been different. Like should have done this to it. And then I hear your stuff, and I'm like, see, Roy, like killed it, love it. So it's I think most people are probably like that. You know,
I mean,
we're our own biggest critics,
for
and
sure. For
so
sure, for sure. But I think that's a good habit to have to a certain extent, as to where you always want to push yourself to be better and look for those little things that, of course, I'll let certain people in my circle hear steps they're doing, and I'm pretty sure it's the same with you. They're hear it in the course because they know you. They're gonna be like, yeah, that's awesome, that's good, man, you did it. But a lot of the times you don't. It's like, you sure? Like this last little part right here where I said this, like it wasn't quite where I wanted it at, and I think that it comes into the craft as far as like when you go through, and I'm pretty sure before. I don't know about you. You can definitely speak on this, but I know when I drop my video for beat of the week, I go through the song quite a few times before I'm like, all right, I'm ready to polish this up and then send it out there to be on. I don't know, like what's so. Let's say you're doing your beat of the week thing. How many times does Intel go through a verse on average?
I guess that really depends. So like I had stated
One
earlier,
not one that you got memorized.
all
One
right.
that you a fresh from the brain that you just put together, hot off the press.
So for that, I'll start just by listening to the instrumental, you know. So I'll go through, catch that vibe, and start writing on it. And so I might write like a line or two, hit the beat again, come up with another line or two, so on and so forth, and then eventually build the track. Um, being honest with you, usually by the time I get that last line written, I've got the first half of the song memorized already, just because I've gone through and hit it, you know. Because I'm starting with the first two lines, and then the first two plus two more, and just building from there. So, yeah, usually by the time I have that last line done, I'm basically ready to record. So I definitely found a little technique when it comes to being able to put my lyrics out there and enunciate. I know one of Trey's biggest criticisms on people when it comes to the real reacts is sitting there reading your
Yeah,
lyrics, you know,
yeah.
and with it being obvious, but just a lot of the times I'm doing that exact same thing. Like I'm sitting there reading my lyrics, but I found a way to sort of mask it, you know, to be able to still hit those rhythms and accentuate some of those pockets without necessarily letting you know that I'm reading lyrics. So
And I think, and what I think that speaks to is what you were saying earlier, like, and I do a similar thing when I'm creating mine. I'll go through and I'm playing the beat. I'll start writing it, and in my head, I'm kind of saying it in my head, so I'll make sure it's syncing up with what I hear in the beat. Um, and I'm in my car, like I'm riding home. Sorry, Trey, I do stuff in my car, but I got a whole bunch of kids and borrowed time. So
yeah,
so I'm like listening, but I'm in my car, so I'm spitting it while I'm driving home, on my break. So you get that first half down. It's to where it's if it's not memorized, it's close enough to where if you are, looking at your phone or at the paper, whatever it is, you're not directly reading on it. It's more of like, I don't know, I'll look back at as for like a reference or something. That makes sense.
yeah,
So, and I think that's what a lot of I won't say a lot. What some of the artists that do their submissions should kind of like take note of. Like, yeah, write it down, but go through it a few times so that way you get the feel of it. So you're not directly okay. Get it as to where you've got. I know the first few lines. I got the vibe of it, and if I need to like glance down real quick and catch up for the next one or see where all right what I got coming next, you can you vibe off of that, and that's
yeah.
that's a that is one of a master techniques.
Yeah, if I mean, in my opinion, if you're focusing on whether it's a phone or a notebook or laptop, you know, if you're sitting there focusing on reading the lines, I mean, your brain's not on that level of doing the performance aspect of it, you
Yeah,
know. You're
yeah.
reading. That's exactly what it is. So it's I mean, that's something that I mean, it takes time, you know, it takes practice to be able to do that, and so for the sake of the ritual. So like something I do, like some people will wake up, first thing they do, they go brew a pot of coffee, they sit down, read the newspaper. I wake up every day, the first thing I do is I put my headphones in, I throw a beat on, and I start just messing with music for 20 minutes or so, then start my day with my daughter, hang out with her all day till I have to go to work. Um, which I mean, work it's my 9 to 5, so to say. It's how I have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
roof over my head. But every day at work, I get a 20-minute break. And whereas a lot of my coworkers will go sit in the break room watching the TV or looking down at their phone screen, like as soon as I go on break, I throw my headphones in. I got 20 minutes that I get paid at work every day to make music. So I will take full advantage of that. And then
Hey, man.
like you had said with the driving thing, it's not the safest thing, but it's a quiet
It's not.
time. So
I don't. I will say I'm not writing or any of this stuff. Usually I have the beat, so I'm running it through in my head. So I'm not like actively doing all that. I've got it as to where if it's in usually I drop it in BandLab, so I'll set it to where it's just loops. Probably driving my son in the back seat crazy because I'll have like the beat, whatever beat it is that's been dropped, and it'll just be on like a loop. I can go through it and just repetitive, repetitive, so I can catch it. It's like, all right, cool. And then once I'm good, it's like, all right, we'll listen to like some radio or something else. Or but I'll switch it up. I'll turn it on Spotify and you know listen to more me or something something
yeah,
crazy like that. But yeah,
it's
man, it's
say I say on the topic of kids, my daughter doesn't know much about my music, like she knows I do
yeah,
music, but when it comes to the content that I'm putting out there, that's not something it's not oriented for kids.
I hear you.
So
Uh,
um
I've had to
I
adjust with that.
Yep. So I mean, there are songs that are kid friendly or family
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah,
I mean, one of my favorite songs that I've ever written personally is about my daughter, and like she knows that song. She's heard it
that's dope.
plenty of times, and she can actually spit some of the lyrics with me on it.
That's
And
good right
so
there.
I mean, she'll sit there and sing and dance with me. Usually it's
Yeah,
toddler songs that we're doing, so she's not getting
yeah.
the Intell,
I
version of me, she gets the dad
got you.
version, so
Yeah, that's cool, man. They gotta have that. I'm the same way with my kids, and usually, um, majority of the stuff, and unless something has like struck a chord with me, majority of the stuff that I try and write because I know my wife is usually on me for one, uh, because it's like, hey, you gotta look and see how people are gonna perceive you. I work with kids all the time and then we have kids. So usually when I'm writing and constructing my stuff, I'm trying to figure out, all right, how can I put this down without basically cursing everybody out? Or it's where I can hop in the car and like, hey, y'all want to hear Daddy new song? Check it out. So and
yep.
that's how some of the stuff, even like by the way, man, my kids, my oldest son thinks you're like awesome. Like he loves your verse on stars. That's
Wow.
like his jam. He was actually trying to get our Alexa to play it in the house. It's like, Daddy's not on. I'm not on Amazon just yet, but we gonna get there, buddy.
Not yet. So,
But man, he
soon.
was looking for it. So man, you got a fan in my house for real though. I ain't
Awesome,
like
I appreciate it.
my
Tell him,
wife is like,
send him my love, dude.
I will, man. Even my wife was like, that's like her favorite song. So when I was like, hey, I gotta go and get to the show, uh she was like, so who are you talking to tonight? I was like, yeah, I'll be talking with Sam. And it's another dude I know named Sam. She mentioned him. I was like, no, no, not him. It's like, oh, the dude that's on the song with you. All right, have a good show.
Awesome.
So man, you got a fan base in my house. So if that don't mean anything else to anybody else, I hope that means something.
Definitely. I was saying, I mean, you got it here too. So I know, I talked with you on IG Live the one day. Had my daughter putting
Yeah.
dinosaurs in my ear or whatever, but like she sees you like if I'm scrolling Instagram or whatever, you pop up like she knows that's Daddy's friend.
That's cool,
So
man.
yep, I mean
I
she's
said, "What's
familiar.
up, sweetie?" Should be sleep
Definitely.
by now, but I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, she's familiar with your work as well. That
And
I mean
that's
that ties back into the family aspect of the beat of the week and vibe stream community.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I think the majority of us that have been on there prevalently on a weekly basis, we've come to know each other on a personal level, I feel like.
yeah, yeah,
Because it's most of us are like we're putting our lives out there,
yeah,
not just in our lyrics, but in the chats, the follow-ups, things like that. Um,
yeah,
and like just being able to see how individuals have grown, not only just on a personal level, but the musical level as well. That's in my opinion one of the key aspects of it. That's something that appeals to
yeah,
me as a I mean, there's a reason I show up week after week after week.
yeah,
Like I tune into the streams, I just feel that connection with the community.
yeah.
It's I mean, it's hard to explain, but I mean, it's family. It's family is what it
No,
is.
I totally understand, and I know I've mentioned this to quite a few people. Like when I first got on Beat of the Week, first I had zero intentions of becoming a rapper like at all. I literally just was like, oh, this is an app I can make money. I heard some people on there. I was like, "Nah, I could put something together a little bit better than that. Let's see what happens. Um, but afterwards, just like the amount of love that started coming through and people like hitting me up, it was like, yo, like that's dope. Like I did what you're doing. Like you got this type of style and just like hitting up with coming into my IG and just actually affirming that what I'm doing is not just like no that's out there and it's not really producing anything and that hey like yeah no we're digging what you're doing and then being able to make those connections like it's an awesome thing to have that type of community and definitely get in with this so that's a real dope. With that being said, as with all good family members, big brothers, little brothers, cousins, and in between, I gotta make sure that you get your shine. So tell the people where can they find intelligent at? Where can we find you? What's your socials? Where you at? Where they can get more of these hot heat rocks that you be spitting, man.
So I stay away from social media quite a bit, which I know in this professional
Shame. Nah.
thing, I gotta get out there more. But
Yeah.
so I've been working sort of on the marketing aspect of it, like figuring out how these different social media platforms work. Um, I'm actually actively going through and deleting a bunch of stuff off of certain platforms. Just looking back, things that I don't necessarily want to put out there. It doesn't portray who I am.
I
Whereas
hear
like
you
at
on
the
that.
time, it's like it may have been something that at the time felt like me, but looking back, it's not who I want to be. So going through just sort of deleting stuff off of there, and just building this presence that I want to be able to portray. And so I guess to answer your question, I do have Instagram, just intelligent, two L's hyphen in the middle, Intel agent. So I got the IG, of course. I got beat of the week. Um, I got the rap chat. Brand new to TikTok for the most part. So I've got two songs on TikTok. I think I have four videos total, maybe three, but two songs that I did that were duets. Uh, so went through like found those beats.
Yeah.
They spoke to me, and I was like, man, I can kill these. And so I think
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure both of them were just me in the car with the headphones on.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was.
one I was parked, one I was driving, but just threw the headphones on, hit that beat, and just started going nuts with a verse
Man.
that I already knew, and just loving how it hit on there. And I've gotten some awesome feedback from that, more so than I
Man.
thought. So the recent ones, it's pushing up towards 700 plays in It's I mean, it's sort of stagnant now. I didn't really push it, but it was almost
Yeah,
700 plays in just a few days, which it's sort of mind-boggling.
yeah,
But
man, dude,
so
you killed that. Man. That's why if y'all ever, man, y'all need to get on TikTok and go peep those two videos. I don't care if it's just two. You need to go see them. You need that in your life because man, you and Boom Bap just like that whole man. I, I know you. Yeah, I know you like the chopper style, but man, I had fun when we did the bars track on
yeah,
rap chat because that was like I love that too. That throws back to me just loving old school hip hop, like real
yeah.
stuff. But
So I don't know if I ever told you I'd actually done a song to that instrumental prior to you hitting me up. So that was a beat I was already familiar with. And then we got in
see,
contact or whatever. You asked about doing
great
that, and I was like,
minds.
yep. So I'd already killed that beat, but I went through and deleted that song. It was like that song doesn't exist anymore. I'm gonna hit something brand new on it, and yeah,
That's
I mean that
all
old
good.
school boom bap feel,
Yeah,
love
I
it.
think they had a sample. I think it was it was a Redman sample that was in there, and it was Redman and Jay-Z sample that they had pulled. Now it's like, oh yeah, I ain't
Yeah,
doing this for the platinum. It's like, oh yeah, we this is gonna be so much fun, and it was. If y'all haven't heard that, oh no, it should be on. I think it's on my IG. I'll reload that out there. Go bless yourselves again. Sam Intell kills it again. Even like I think the last line that you spit on there, it was like, telling him, "Damn, Sam, save some of us for the rest of us in the game."
yeah,
And I'm like, for real, man.
yeah. It's I think I said, "Damn, Sam, save some for the rest of us playing the game."
There
Yeah,
you go.
yep. So that's
I was
I
like,
mean
oh
that's a song. If you're up for it, I'd love to go through and recreate that.
yeah,
'Cause I mean,
man.
just in the time that we did that till now, I feel like I've grown as an artist.
I
And
I feel the same way. I'm down whenever. So
yep,
we'll definitely run that back. We'll
yeah,
hit y'all with 2.0.
I'll say
Well,
we'll do it.
I guess 3.0 since you had already dropped the first version that's now it can't be found. Some
Yeah, that
little
was
kid
a
probably got like a screen record of it maybe.
that was a beta test. That's what that was.
All right. That'll resurface like the Big L and like Jay-Z like cipher tape years and years from now. They're like, we
Yeah.
found this old video of Intel agent when he did this before he did bars and bars 2.0.
Yep. So I know there's some mixtapes floating around from when I first started doing music, like when I was running with a group, like some stuff that looking back, I'm like, man, I can't believe I put that out there. But we
Everybody
mass
has that, man.
yeah, so like we mass produced these just these little mixtapes, handing them out like 3 tracks here, 5 tracks here.
Yeah,
So I mean they're floating around out there. They are. I'm not gonna lie.
man.
But so that's
Somebody's
say hopefully one day that's something that someone will be able to throw up on a charity auction and pull like 500 grand for, like
telling you, man.
Intel from whatever year,
For
but before
back
I
in the
had
gap.
yep, so before I went by the name of Intel. So
Yeah, man. They go. It was just Sam. No Captain America.
yeah,
All right, man. Well, dude, I appreciate it so much for being able to just chop it up with you and getting this wealth of knowledge. Just coming through and finding out how you do. I got one last closing thing that I'll throw out here before we shut it down. I already know the answer to it because the answer is almost it's the same for me. So I was gonna ask, what is your motivation and what is your reason? And I'm pretty sure it's that sweet little girl that you have with you because I know my kids are. But I'll let you close. I'll speak with that. What is your motivation? What is your reason?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean she's my reason for life, So I mean I started doing music before she was in the picture, but my entire life has changed since she came around, she's the reason I wake up, she's the reason I go to sleep. Uh I mean, she's the reason I work. Uh, I mean, I've seen every episode of My Little Pony, which like that's something I never intended on ever doing, but it's
Hey,
a
man,
so yeah, it's a I mean my life revolves around that beautiful little girl. So
that's real.
it's
That's real.
she is my reason for being right now. So and always will be.
That's real,
Always will be.
man. Bless you and the family, man.
And
Again,
you as well.
man, thank you for coming on board with this. I appreciate it. Um, I look forward to working with you more and more. I don't know, maybe we'll have to figure out. We can't do Black Star. We'll figure out some type of crazy group name, and we'll hit y'all with. We'll be the new version of Ebony and Ivory or something. Man. Kill
Yeah,
y'all in.
I'm down anytime, dude. Like I said, I mean you're one of the top artists in my book. I mean
Hey, man, I
you're
appreciate it.
so
You're the
versatile when
same.
it comes to what you do, and so I will proudly feature beside you anytime. So I love it.
That's all right, man. Same thing, man. Whatever you ever want a feature from me, but I will humble myself and come on and do something. I hope I don't mess up your track.
Uh, I don't think that's possible, and that goes for most of the beat of the week community.
Yeah, man.
It's I mean I love seeing what everyone's putting out there, and so I am a collaborating artist. Of course, beat of the week like it is a solo competition for the most part, unless you're the power
Wow.
couple, Candy Lady and DIP. Like
Shout out
they'll
Candy Lady
they'll come in,
DIP.
yeah. So it's yeah, I'm not stingy when it comes to my music,
Right on.
I love working with other people. I love catching vibes off of them, being able to play off of that and vice versa. So it's yeah, I mean I love working with people. So
We
anytime,
gonna make it happen. We gonna make it
absolutely.
happen. You heard it here. Thank you. Thank you. This is the ritual. This is the ritual. Peace.